Fashion, it's a system, an industry, a series of passions, a certain way of looking at life, and also a way of talking about the big questions, even planetary shifts. One thing that's going to be shaken up next winter is men's fashion, if the latest collections in Paris are anything to go by. Backstage at Walter Van Beirendonck's show, the models are shaping up, makeup artists are preparing their palettes, and the hairdressers are playing around too. Charlie, hair doesn't normally grow on this part of the body.
No. Oh, sure, it does grow on your back. Well, it depends who you are.
What did Walter ask for?
We went for something that leans towards fantasy. In fact, it's quite Art Deco. Then I wanted to give it a bit of a punk aesthetic with the hairstyle. He was really into the mix of textures and dimensions.
Walter's someone who makes drawings that stretch from here to here. So it's our job to transpose those drawings onto the faces. He's someone who loves color, so there's always a message of hope in there.
Walter Van Beirendonck's fashion is an antidote to day-to-day gloominess.
I think we're going through a really difficult time right now. There's loads of political and social stuff going on, and we're really feeling that quite strongly. It's the same problem when you think about the environment. I really wanted to talk about almost like a tribe, young people who are living in that world today and who are feeling that pressure. They believe in the future, but they're also quite fragile, because we have to survive and put our faith in the future while also being super positive for everyone around us.
Keeping your feet on the ground is key, and for that, shoes are a vital part of a man's wardrobe. Olivier Sayard has organised an artistic performance in a bistro instead of a classic catwalk show. The former director of Paris's Galliera Fashion Museum is now in creative control at JM Weston, the renowned French shoemakers.
You dream better when you've got the right shoes on. You can't think straight if your feet hurt. It might sound simple, but I really like shoes. Not so much for me because I always wear the same pair, but for other people, definitely. I don't think that shoes are about fashion. It's a different domain. For men especially, it's something that's linked to what we're wearing to work, with your everyday clothes, with ordinary life. That's what I like about it, helping people dress for ordinary life.
And it's nice to see something other than sneakers.
Yes, it's nice, isn't it? Sneakers can be great too, of course. But honestly, it is nice to see something else. And this is just wonderful. And this whole presentation, the atmosphere, these creative mashups, it was really, really good.
The star of the show, these alligator moccasins, with their 4-ply leather soles, weighing in at 1 kilo per shoe, they're not only precious, they're priceless. Choosing an unusual setting for your show is now obligatory for any self-respecting fashion designer. Here, close to the Pompidou Centre, the Saint-Merri church is ushering in some fringe elements. And quite a few concerts, with rock, pop and classical music. Noise punk is one of them. A thundering sound which suits Japanese designer Hiromichi Ochiai just fine. For Hiromichi, it's all part of the message his label, Facetasm, is trying to convey. That amid the technological revolution, there's too much noise. That is, too much pointless communication which obscures the truly important information.
It does affect me in one way or another, but the way I tried to make Facetasm was so as not to hurt anyone. We're trying to be careful about that while simultaneously being conscious of what's happening around us and trying to keep on making beautiful clothes, all the while being aware of all that.
Of the thousands of buyers and journalists who usually make their way to Paris for the collections, many chose to stay at home this time around, scared off by the upheaval in the French capital caused by the Yellow Vest protests. Yet for those who did make the trip, it's party time. Guests are waiting for one of the hottest tickets of the moment, a performance hosted by Off-White. The label headed up by American designer Virgil Abloh has got fans in a frenzy. Down in the bowels of the Louvre, once they're in the room, a quick photo shoot with the stars, and they're off. The clothes are vast, oversized, and almost all of the models have some sort of writing painted onto their hands. The collection's called public television, a reflection on the world around us. For those who've grown up with television, films, series and advertising, those images have come to constitute an abstract, addictive world. We're influenced by it, even if we're unaware. Virgil Abloh aims to weave the effects of that phenomenon into his clothes. The designer's not one to comment on his work, and like many of his fellow creatives, Abloh doesn't give interviews. He prefers to let the collection do the talking, meaning that his language of fashion is meant to be seen and not heard.
Yeah, this way, please.